Hi, thanks for joining me. So I'm doing a pickups video hot on the heels of my last one here. This is just anime this time. I was actually going to do like a vlog or something like that, just maybe talk about some stuff, but I realized that this is the best time to make this video because I did get that lot of stuff from eBay that I was waiting for, and before I put it all on the shelf and then have to pull it all down just to make a video about it, I figured I'd do this now. Plus, I just went out today and picked up a couple things that I think are really cool, and I just wanted to share them with you while it's fresh. So, for starters, I'm going to start off with some of the stuff that I haven't seen. So the first one that I have here is something that I know almost nothing about. I really picked it up mostly because this seller that I was buying from seemed to have pretty similar tastes to me in anime, and it was cheap, and it's also published by Right Stuff. That is Starship Girl Yamamoto Yoko. This is one that I noticed back in the day, and I just never picked it up. I really don't know anything about it. Next up is one that I know a little bit more about, but not a whole lot. That is Cyber Team in Akihabara. This is the complete collection. It's got a chipboard case and a nice thin pack of DVDs there. You guys might remember I talked about that a little bit when I did a Dreamcast pickups video. It had a game based on that, obviously a Japanese only game, featuring the Patapais, some sort of creature from the series. So, I just watched the first 2 episodes, I think, when I was researching for that video, and it was alright, so I figured, you know what, I would give that a shot. I've actually wanted to see it ever since it came out, way back in the probably late 90s, so, really excited to have a chance to catch up on that. Next up, I've got something from a similar time period, and it's something I have even less of an excuse not to have seen before. I was a really big Slayers fan when that was contemporary. I still like it a lot. The new stuff that they did was just unfortunately not that great, I didn't think. But anyway, this was Hajime Kanzaka's follow-up to that. I believe he wrote the novels for Slayers, and so I don't know if these are based on novels that he wrote or what, but it's another story by the same author, Lost Universe. And I've got all 4 volumes of it here, and from what I can tell, even back then, I think that people were kind of disappointed in this, especially people that liked Slayers and were like, oh, it's like Slayers in space. I seem to remember people being like, it wasn't really as good, it didn't really have the same kind of punch to it, but, it's just one that I've wanted to see for a really long time, so definitely really glad to pick that up again. These things were really affordable, so I really couldn't say no to this. Another one that I saw some of, this is actually something that aired on television, and probably more people are familiar with this than some of the stuff that's a little more, just for the hardcore anime nerds. Outlaw Star. This is one of the, earlier things that was shown on, I don't know what it was on specifically, but I think it was sort of along with when they were showing some of the Gundam stuff and Gundam Wing and that kind of stuff. I remember catching maybe a couple episodes of that and some Outlaw Star. I liked it. I really thought Outlaw Star, what I saw of it, was pretty cool, and I've just never seen the rest of it. So, I don't feel bad adding this to my collection. I'm pretty confident that this will be, be worth the while. And this next one, it's funny, it's one that I've avoided to a certain extent for quite some time, just because I remember back in the day I was not, I didn't love this, but it really is a classic, and especially the music is so good in this. Please Save My Earth. This is something that, it's a 6-episode OAV series, and I kind of forget, I think it either just has an unsatisfactory ending or just sort of leaves off. I don't know if it's one of those things that, had a manga series, and so they just sort of animated a little bit of a story and then never really went anywhere with it or what, but just back then, like all those OAVs, it's neat to see some of the stuff that they did with them, and I know just the animation, like just the characters and everything, like looked really good for the time, but the music is excellent. This is Yoko Kanno. I think really what I consider to be her her best soundtrack for any anime. You guys are probably more familiar with her from things like Cowboy Bebop or Macross Plus or that sort of thing, but I really think that that Please Save My Earth is some of her best stuff ever. So really glad to add that back into my collection. These are something that's pretty fun. This is something that I watched with my friend Andy. And, I remember distinctly him picking these up as they came out. We were just in that time when, you could get some stuff online and kind of check some things out that way, but really, if you wanted to watch anime, unless it was stuff that was being broadcast on TV, you were just purchasing DVDs outright, or, VHS, not long before. So we would just pick these up. We had no idea what was on here, and just started watching the stuff, hoping it was worth the 20 or 30 bucks per disc that you were spending. So this is Nia Under 7, and this is just the first 2 volumes here. But I figured, these were a great deal. It was going to be worth it for me to pick up the next 2. And, I have fond memories of this. It was pretty fun. I remember, it's something to do with the guy that worked on Lane, and don't ask me because I am just not up on it. Okay, actually, it says it right here on the back. So it was directed and written by Takuya Sato. The idea based on GK characters, I have no idea what that means, designed by Yoshitoshi Abe. So Yoshitoshi Abe, I guess, just did the character designs for this, and he did the character designs for Lane. I don't know if he was involved in the story anymore for Lane, but anyway, his designs are cool, and we definitely noticed them back in the day, especially after having seen Lane, so we wanted to check this out, and it's the story of this girl. They're like these aliens that are taking on sort of like ethnic qualities of various cultures on Earth in order to try to blend in with Earthlings. It's a really weird premise, and this girl here ends up with this alien living with her as kind of a squatter, essentially. So it was cool. I remember, it wasn't something that blew me away, but I remember, it having kind of having a generally favorable impression of it after I finished watching it. So there's another 2 discs of that I need to pick up. More about that in a moment. This next one is another classic by AIC, and I actually am not sure, but I was always under the impression that these are original series by the studio, so I could be wrong about that. But I picked up El Hazard. This is the alternative world, and I think similarly to Tenchi, which I think they were also doing as an original series, they seem to really enjoy taking the same characters and the same premise and just putting another spin on it and kind of rebooting a series right after they've done it. So you had that with Tenchi Universe, where it basically does the same thing that they did in the Tenchi OAVs, but it takes some things in a slightly different direction. So it's really hard to keep track of all the El Hazard series. I mean, I'm sure it's easy if you just read Wikipedia or something like that, but especially back in the day, I just never was able to really keep it straight in my head. So I don't know which one the alternative world is in the continuity, but I'm excited to check it out, and I'd like to just become more knowledgeable about that series. It's definitely a classic and one that I'd like to watch some more of. But this person, like I said, I think they have similar tastes to me. So in addition to El Hazard, they also have some Tenchi. They've got Tenchi in Tokyo. I just grabbed 2 of the volumes. I actually have the whole thing. But I think this is one that I'm regretting picking up just a little bit. So you can see here, this is a lot of discs, and they just re-released all of the Tenchi stuff in these nice Blu-ray DVD combo packs. So you've got the whole OAV series, Tenchi Universe, Tenchi in Tokyo, that movie set that I got already. So, really, all of those things together would take up the same shelf space that just this one series does. So, I don't know. For the added shelf space, I might just, just pay an extra 10 or 15 bucks and actually get the new release. So I might just resell this. I don't know if anybody wants this for 10 bucks plus shipping. It's all yours. Send me a message or something. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll just chuck it up on eBay here. But Yeah, so just getting down there on this, really the main reason that I found this seller and decided to buy a whole bunch of their stuff, aside from being really cheap, is I was looking for all-purpose cultural catgirl Nuku Nuku, and this is it. This is the original OAV series. I really liked this a lot, and not just this, but the stuff by this same creator, and I feel really bad because I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's Yuzo Takada. His stuff is just really neat. I really got into 3x3 Eyes. I had the, little bit of the manga that they released here back in the day, with a foreword by Rob Zombie, nonetheless. And it inspired me to get like some of the 3x3 Eyes manga in raw Japanese. I've gotten other of his series, his manga series that he started. Certainly I've seen some of the other Nuku Nuku stuff, but as far as I'm concerned, it's really not good. I forget how it was. I think it was Nuku Nuku Dash, which was really bad. The TV series, which I just think was not very good. Whatever they were doing with it, it was just not cool. This original OAV series was really good, however. This is one of my absolute favorites from back in the day, so I'm really excited to have this back. I have no idea how I have not managed to pick this up before then. And another one of his series, which was, I think, rather well regarded, is Blue Seed. And I know I've seen some of this. This is, again, the whole pack. And this is in really nice shape as I'm, trying to fix one of the corners that's popping out. This is a cardboard box, and it's just apt to, these things are apt to get annihilated. But all of this stuff from this particular seller was just in such good shape. I really appreciate how they kept their stuff. Yeah, so that was my big haul, and such a good deal on this. I can't even tell you. So really glad to get all of that stuff. And I just went out today. I wanted to get out of the house. It was really nice weather. It happens to be Mother's Day 2014. Gave my mom a call in the morning, wished her happy Mother's Day. I'm going to be able to spend a little time with her coming up in a couple days. But I just wanted to go and check some stuff out. So I went to this shop, having anime on the brain, that carried anime. I mean, this is actually a place that my friend Andy and I, when we were like in high school, actually picked up some of the stuff from that we saw, and they're still around, and they still have a great anime selection. But I remembered that they have some used stuff too, so I was like, well, let me look and see what they had. So they were doing buy two get one free, essentially, get one for like $1. So I spent quite a while like browsing through all their stuff, and I found some really cool things. Not only that, but I got an amazing deal. I just need to tell you guys about this. So the first thing that I ran across was Nia Under 7. This is the 3rd volume. There's only 4 volumes of this. I was doing some research online, and it's annoying, like, the way that reselling online, like, just does such weird things to inflating the prices of some stuff. So for some reason, this particular volume, and maybe it just had a low print run or something, or not a lot of people are reselling it, I don't know. But this one is more expensive. It's not like really expensive. It isn't. It's like $15 or something. It's not a big deal. But this one is a little pricey, and then the 4th one is like super cheap. You can get it for like $5. So I was kind of like, well, I'll just pick them up. It's not a big deal. But this one they had for like $8, and I was like, oh wow. It was like used, and not only that, but I wanted to take advantage of that deal, so I started poking around. So additionally, I found Wicked City used. This is it's a classic. It's very I don't want to go on too much about this. If you guys have seen Wicked City, you know what it is. Just definitely one of the, it was kind of a shock thing that you saw back in the day. I think you can sort of say this in the same breath with like Uratsuki Doji or Ninja Scroll, or that sort of thing, where it was like definitely really violent, kind of sexualized, just really not the kind of thing you were used to ever seeing animated, or just had never even really seen very much in anything. I mean, it's not really like movies. It's not really like this is like kind of a unique thing that you would only ever see in like an anime thing like this. So anyway, I got this for old time's sake, and just because it's a really interesting bit of history. And So I was excited about that, but I'm like, I need to find some other used thing if I want to take advantage of this deal. And I found something that I've wanted for a really long time. I actually liked Rurouni Kenshin a lot. I have some Hong Kong versions of the series, and I can talk about Hong Kong versions of stuff in another video. But you know, I have that, and I really liked the TV series, but I never got the OAVs. So this is Samurai X, the OAV version of Rurouni Kenshin, and this is really cool because it's a prequel. It goes back. It tells the story of how he got his scar. That's why it's Samurai X. He's got the X scar on his face, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. It's really well regarded. But you know, it's 2 discs, so you know, I was getting it one for like $1, and then just pay full price for the other one because it's totally worth it. Just a 2-part. I think it's maybe 4 OAVs total. And it's a really cool, like, origin story, kind of Kenshin. I really, really like that set. And additionally, this was the find of the trip. I don't know how I ran across this. I think I was looking up stuff that Central Park Media had published, and I noticed Wrath of the Ninja, aka Yotoden, which I'd never seen. But I was like, well, I'm curious to check this out. And again, it's one of those things that come to find out, they had a movie cut of it, and you can get that pretty easily. But after that, quite a bit. This was in like, I guess it was in 2006. They released the OAV series that kind of originated that movie. And it's the only way that you can get that OAV series like published in the U.S. So it has since been, you know, just sort of, it seems like jacked up really high by resellers online. The cheapest that I could see this right now is for like $50 on eBay. There's a listing for like $100. I think on Amazon, like all the listings are like $75 to $100. It's just ridiculous, you know. I mean, I don't quite know how to feel. Like, I understand, I guess, if you have something and it's rare and it's out of print, I mean, you charge what people are willing to pay for it, I guess. And, you know, should you pay that much for something that's rare and out of print? Maybe. You know, I don't know how many of these Central Park Media, you know, printed, and how many are left, too. I mean, some of the places that carry this stuff will destroy them, you know, when they don't sell. So, I mean, I have no idea. But anyway, I ran across this. This is Wrath of the Ninja, the complete Yotoden saga. I had basically decided to just keep my eye out for this and, you know, look for it for a decent price and maybe pick it up someday, especially if I could check it out and see if it's, you know, actually worth spending real money on and not something you want to just pick up for $10. But they had this for like $16.99, and I was like, sweet. So I grabbed that. So long story short, when I get up to the counter, they ring me out, and you know, all of this stuff, I picked up 5 discs, and I was like, I think it's going to come out to be about $50, and I'm like, you know, for this stuff, this is great stuff, $10 a disc is a steal, and I was like, this is just totally worth it. So, they ring me out, and it comes out to like $32 or something. I think with tax, it's like $35. And I'm like, okay. So I went and I sat down and I looked at my receipt to figure out what was going on. So my Samurai X, one of them was like $10. The other one was $1. I was like, okay. So Wicked City was full price. That was like $16. So I'm like, so I basically got Wicked City, Samurai X, and then I got the other Samurai X one for that deal. But then Nia Under 7 was also $1. And I'm like, okay. And not only that, but Wrath of the Ninja, which was like $16.99, came out to be $5. So I'm like blown away here. I got just the most amazing deal on this stuff, especially, you know, and that Wrath of the Ninja. I mean, what is it really worth? I don't know. But especially for something that, you know, the only way to get it online is, you know, at this point to like try to sift through auctions that are, you know, pretty highly priced. I was just amazed. I just thought this was the greatest deal. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. As you guys can tell, I'm picking up a mix of things I've already seen that I really liked back in the day. A lot of nostalgic stuff that I wanted to see, and maybe just one or two things that that I wanted to check out that I'd never really heard of before. So just having fun getting all these things, and wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll join me again.